like got Aaliyah Boss in the face and then, brushed back. Got her in the eye. And a lot of people are wondering is like, first of all, why was this not an ejection? And should it be a suspension? In my opinion, the reason why it's not an ejection in the game is because there is...
Watch that reaction closely. What Brittney Griner did to Aaliyah Boston wasn't accidental. And the fact she walked away without an ejection says everything about how the league handles certain players. Last night's Unrivaled game exposed the double standards in women's basketball. Griner's hand made direct contact with Boston's face, catching her in the eye, yet the officials ruled it a normal basketball play. But this wasn't just a hard foul, it crossed a line.
The question is now, should there be a suspension for Brittney Griner? And now that is a different question. Should there be a suspension for Brittney Griner? For me, the answer is yes. Because the reason why, in real time, you could definitely chalk this up as being unintentional. But then after she got... Look, the ball's nowhere to... Like, she goes... Griner makes no attempt to grab the ball here. Like, Griner is nowhere near the ball. She's not within a meter of the ball. The ball is not within a meter of her.
Here's the proof. Griner isn't even near the ball. The ball is a full meter away when her hand connects with Boston's face. If you rewind one possession, you can see what sparked this. Their arms tangled on the previous play. Boston and Griner have a history from WNBA matchups, and anyone who's watched them knows the tension is real. Boston plays with her arms high on drop steps, technically legal, but designed to provoke contact. Griner reacts with elbows and physicality that push the limits of what's allowed. This wasn't planned from the start of the game, but it was set in motion the moment that first contact happened 25 seconds earlier. The officials just called it a common foul, not even flagrant. Move along. Nothing to see here.
It is a bit of a concern because they're not going to be. Because it is Aaliyah Boston. Realistically, because it's Aaliyah Boston, it's not going to be seen as a concern because, unfortunately, because of proximity to Caitlin Clark, amongst the WNBA media, it's fair game. Aaliyah Boston is fair game. Like, it's Aaliyah Boston's fair game, Lexi Hull's fair game, Sophie Cunningham's fair game. You are allowed to go out and try to hurt an Indiana Fever player. Heck, Sydney Colson was fair game when JC Sheldon jumped through her knee. Like, the ball,
Here's where the double standard hits hard. Unrivaled markets itself as a player's safety-first league. Minor injuries? Sit the player out. Ankle tweak in practice? Out of the next game. Their whole brand is about protecting athletes and promoting a sustainable environment. But then one player clearly retaliates, risking a serious eye injury, and suddenly all that caution vanishes. Now it's just basketball, and we're told it was an accident during normal play, despite clear evidence otherwise. The WNBA struggles with the same issue, and Unrivaled inherits it, since much of its media coverage comes from the same voices that have long covered the league.
If Aaliyah caught Brittney Griner with this, I'm fully believe that Aaliyah would be suspended by Unrivaled. I fully believe it. But because in the psychotic world of the WNBA, Fever players are fair game. Whether that's fair game from commentators, fair game from the media, fair game from other players. You are allowed to attack their characters. You are allowed to attack them as people. You are allowed to attack their looks. You're allowed to attack their whatever about. I'm not even going to say criticize. You're allowed to attack their skill set. You're allowed to attack where they're from. You're allowed to attack where they were born. You're allowed to attack their views.
Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody says out loud. Indiana Fever players are treated differently, targeted in ways most others in the league aren't. And it's not just on-court contact, though that's part of it. Look at Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Flagrant fouls, hip checks, late hits, all shrugged off as physical play or welcome to the league moments. Then there's Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, and that infamous moment when J.C. Shelton slid through Sydney Colson's knees after she'd already secured the ball, a red card play in soccer. Yet barely a reaction came from the league. The pattern is clear. Fever players can be attacked, criticized, and scrutinized in ways others aren't. Their jerseys seem to come with a target, and the usual boundaries simply don't apply. Interview 4. Now ask yourself this. If the roles had been reversed last night, If Aaliyah Boston had struck Brittney Griner in the same way, would Unrivaled have responded the same? Based on what we've seen over the past year, almost certainly not. There would have been immediate calls for suspension. Commentary would have focused on Boston's dangerous play and lack of control. Analysis would have centered on protecting veteran players and enforcing respect on the court. Unrivaled leadership, which includes former players who've criticized how fever athletes are treated, would likely have acted swiftly. But because it's Griner hitting Boston, the narrative flips. Now the discussion shifts. Did Boston's physical style provoke this? Did her aggressive, legal elbows justify retaliation? That is not how player safety is meant to work.
In general, that's something like this. You could say, oh yeah, is worthy of a suspension. But when it comes to Unrivaled and it being this buddy league and players, you don't actually have to play. We'll just you can pay to train. You don't have to play. This isn't a real sports league type thing. At the end of the day, it is like it's one of those things where
here's the breakdown. In the moment, the decision not to eject Griner technically makes some sense. Officials have to make split-second calls without replay or multiple angles. If there's any plausible doubt about intent, they usually lean toward keeping players in the game. That's the in-game logic. But now, we're past the live action. We have replay. We have context from the previous possession. We see clearly that Griner made zero attempt to play the ball. Her hand went straight to Boston's face and eye. So the real question is what happens next. Will Unrivaled review the play and hand down a suspension? Will they acknowledge that while the refs couldn't be sure in real time, the evidence now proves this was a retaliatory move that endangered another player? Or will they follow the WNBA's playbook, shrug it off, and hope everyone forgets by the next game?
Not just a little small bit of history. Like we've seen Brittney Griner swing elbows. We've seen Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston does Aaliyah Boston things. When she drops steps, she keeps her arms high, and it's very like. And the thing is, like, it's ironically based on the rules of basketball. It is a perfectly legal elbow to the face. Like she's in her cylinder. There's nothing wrong with it in the rules of basketball. But she does elbow people in the face. Let's be very clear here. It is Aaliyah Boston absolutely will hit someone with the elbow legal elbow to the face.
Here's what makes this so frustrating for anyone who actually cares about the growth of women's basketball. Unrivaled had a real chance to set a new standard. They could have built a league that treats players' safety seriously, every player, every situation. Instead, they're repeating the same problems that have long plagued the WNBA. Selective enforcement, double standards, and looking the other way when certain players cross the line. The Griner-Boston incident isn't just one hard foul. It's part of a larger, normalized pattern in women's basketball. Physical play gets celebrated until someone gets hurt. Then everyone acts surprised. Certain players are untouchable. Others are held to different standards, regardless of what happens on the court. Both the WNBA and now Unrivaled prioritize narratives and relationships over consistent rule enforcement. Put it in context. Caitlin Clark brought record-breaking ratings and millions of new fans last season. Yet she and her teammates faced repeated, harsh physical play dismissed as just basketball. Now those same fans are watching Unrivaled hoping for a safer, more professional environment, and they're seeing the exact same dynamics unfold. Boston gets hit in the face, and the system looks the other way. It's frustrating, it's avoidable, and it's a credibility problem the league can't afford.
Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think that she should be Griner should be suspended? Do you guys think Brittney Griner or Aaliyah Boston deserved it? If you think the latter, genuinely crazy. But yeah, it is what it is. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment.